The expansion of Rome's territory was accompanied by significant administrative and legal innovations. As new lands were incorporated into the Republic, it became necessary to develop systems of governance that could manage these diverse and far-flung territories effectively. The creation of provinces was a key development in this regard. Provinces were regions outside Italy that were under Roman control, but governed by local elites under the supervision of Roman officials. These officials, known as provincial governors, were appointed by the Senate and held significant administrative and military authority within their jurisdictions. Hello and welcome to this soothing journey through the fascinating history of ancient Rome. In this ASMR video, we will explore the rich tapestry of Roman history designed to help you relax and gently fall asleep. Now, let's begin our peaceful exploration of ancient Rome. The governors were responsible for maintaining law and order, collecting taxes, and defending the province against external threats. The provincial system allowed Rome to extend its influence over vast areas without directly administering every aspect of local governance. This decentralized approach was crucial for managing the growing complexity of the Roman state and enabled Rome to integrate a wide variety of cultures and societies into its political framework. The legal system also evolved to meet the demands of a growing and diverse empire. The Roman legal tradition, which had its roots in the 12 Tables, continued to develop and expand. One of the key features of Roman law was its flexibility and adaptability. Roman jurists and lawmakers were adept at creating legal principles that could be applied across different contexts and cultures. This adaptability was crucial for maintaining social order and stability in a vast and diverse empire. One of the most important legal innovations was the development of the jus gentium, or the law of nations. This body of law was designed to regulate relations between Roman citizens and non-citizens and to provide a framework for resolving disputes that involve people from different cultural backgrounds. The jus gentium was based on principles of natural law and equity, and it played a crucial role in promoting fairness and justice in the Roman legal system. In addition to the jus gentium, the Romans also developed the concept of the praetor peregrinus, a magistrate responsible for administering justice in cases involving foreigners. The praetor peregrinus had wide-ranging judicial powers and played a key role in ensuring that the legal system could accommodate the needs of a diverse and cosmopolitan population. The administrative and legal innovations of the early Republic were accompanied by significant social and cultural changes. The expansion of Rome brought new ideas, technologies, and cultural practices into the city. This process of cultural exchange and assimilation enriched Roman society and contributed to the development of a distinctive Roman identity. The influence of Greek culture was particularly significant. As Rome expanded into the Greek-speaking world, it came into contact with Greek art, philosophy, literature, and science. Many wealthy Romans adopted Greek customs and practices, and Greek tutors and philosophers became highly sought after. This cultural assimilation had a profound impact on Roman intellectual life and helped to shape the development of Roman art, literature, and philosophy. Religion also played a central role in Roman society. The state religion, with its complex system of gods and rituals, was closely intertwined with political and social life. Religious festivals and ceremonies were important public events that reinforced social cohesion and provided opportunities for communal participation. The Roman calendar was filled with religious observances, each dedicated to different gods and goddesses, reflecting the polytheistic nature of Roman religion. The integration of new gods and religious practices from conquered peoples was a common feature of Roman religion. This practice, known as interpretatio Romana, involved identifying foreign gods with Roman deities and incorporating their worship into the Roman religious system. This inclusive approach helped to integrate diverse populations into the Roman state and promoted social harmony. The establishment of the Pontifex Maximus, the chief priest responsible for overseeing religious practices, and the Vestal Virgins who tended the sacred fire of Vesta, were critical to maintaining the religious and moral integrity of the Republic. These religious institutions provided continuity and stability, linking past traditions with the evolving present. The early Republic was also a period of significant architectural and engineering achievements. The construction of roads, aqueducts, temples, and public buildings transformed the urban landscape of Rome and facilitated the growth of the city. Roman engineering was renowned for its innovation and efficiency, and the infrastructure developed during this period laid the foundations for the future expansion of the empire. The development of the Roman road system was particularly important. Roads such as the Via Appia and the Via Flaminia connected Rome with distant parts of the Italian peninsula and facilitated the movement of troops, goods, and information. The road system played a crucial role in the expansion and maintenance of the Roman state, enabling rapid communication and efficient administration. Aqueducts were another remarkable achievement of Roman engineering. These structures brought fresh water from distant sources into the city, ensuring a reliable supply of clean water for drinking, bathing, and sanitation. The construction of aqueducts such as the Aqua Appia and the Aqua Marcia transformed urban life in Rome and contributed to the city's growth and prosperity. Public buildings and temples also played a central role in Roman civic life. The construction of the Roman Forum, with its temples, basilicas, and public spaces, created a focal point for political, religious, and social activities. Temples dedicated to gods such as Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva were important centers of worship and community life. These buildings were not only architectural marvels, but also symbols of Roman power and piety. The early Republic was a time of dynamic change and development, marked by significant political, social, and cultural transformations. The foundations laid during this period would shape the future trajectory of Rome and contribute to the enduring legacy of the Roman Republic. As Rome continued to grow and expand, it faced new challenges and opportunities. The Republic's ability to adapt and innovate in response to these challenges was a key factor in its success. The development of legal and administrative systems, the integration of diverse cultures, and the achievements in engineering and architecture all played a crucial role in the Republic's growth and stability. The early Republic was not without its conflicts and struggles, but it was a period of remarkable achievement and progress. The principles of republican governance, the emphasis on civic duty, and the commitment to justice and equity laid the groundwork for the future success of Rome and its transformation into a powerful and enduring empire. As we reflect on the early history of the Roman Republic, we can see how the foundations laid during this period influenced the development of Western civilization. The political, legal, and cultural innovations of the early Republic have left an indelible mark on history and continue to inspire and inform our understanding of governance, law, and society. The expansion of Rome's influence was not just limited to the Italian peninsula. As the Republic grew stronger, it began to look beyond its borders to establish control over the Mediterranean region. This period of expansion was driven by a combination of military conquest, strategic alliances, and economic interests. The desire to control key trade routes and access valuable resources motivated many of Rome's campaigns. One of the earliest significant expansions beyond Italy was the First Punic War, 264-241 BCE, fought between Rome and Carthage. This war was primarily a struggle for control over the island of Sicily, a crucial strategic and economic hub in the Mediterranean. Rome's victory in this war marked the beginning of its overseas expansion and established it as a dominant naval power. The Second Punic War, 218-201 BCE, further cemented Rome's position as a leading Mediterranean power. The war is famous for the Carthaginian general Hannibal's daring crossing of the Alps with his army and elephants to invade Italy. Despite initial successes, Hannibal was eventually defeated by the Roman general Scipio Africanus. Rome's victory in the Second Punic War gave it control over much of the western Mediterranean, including Spain and parts of North Africa. The expansion continued with the conquest of the Hellenistic kingdoms in the eastern Mediterranean. The Macedonian Wars, 214-148 BCE, resulted in Rome's domination of Greece and the establishment of Roman provinces in the region. The incorporation of the rich and culturally sophisticated Greek cities into the Roman state had a profound impact on Roman culture, leading to the further Hellenization of Roman society. Economic motivations played a significant role in Rome's expansionist policies. The control of trade routes, access to resources such as grain, metals, and slaves, and the acquisition of wealth from conquered territories were key factors driving Roman military campaigns. The influx of wealth from these conquests transformed Roman society, leading to increased social stratification and the concentration of wealth in the hands of a few elite families. The expansion also had significant social and political consequences. The incorporation of diverse populations into the Roman state required new approaches to governance and administration. The extension of Roman citizenship to conquered peoples, the development of legal frameworks to accommodate different cultures, and the integration of local elites into the Roman political system were all strategies used to maintain control and stability in the expanding republic. The social fabric of Rome was also affected by the influx of slaves from conquered territories. Slavery became a central institution in Roman society, with slaves working in agriculture, industry, and domestic settings. The reliance on slave labor had profound implications for the Roman economy and social structure, leading to tensions and conflicts that would later contribute to the decline of the Republic. The military success of Rome was not just due to its superior strategy and tactics, but also to the discipline and organization of its army. The Roman legions were highly trained and well-equipped, and the Roman military system was characterized by its ability to adapt and innovate. The use of standardized equipment, the development of advanced siege techniques, and the implementation of effective logistical support systems were all factors that contributed to Rome's military prowess. One of the key elements of the Roman military system was the principle of maniple-based organization. The Roman legion was divided into smaller units called maniples, each consisting of about 120 soldiers. This structure allowed for greater flexibility and maneuverability on the battlefield, enabling Roman commanders to respond more effectively to changing tactical situations. The manipular system was a significant innovation that gave the Roman army a tactical edge over its enemies. The development of a professional officer corps was another important aspect of the Roman military. Commanders were often experienced soldiers who had risen through the ranks, and the cursus honorum provided a structured career path for military officers. This system ensured that the Roman army was led by capable and experienced leaders who could effectively manage large-scale military operations. The Roman military also placed a strong emphasis on engineering and infrastructure. The construction of roads, fortifications, and camps was a key aspect of Roman military operations. The ability to build and maintain extensive networks of roads allowed the Roman army to move quickly and efficiently across vast distances. Fortifications and camps provided secure bases from which to launch operations and maintain control over conquered territories. The combination of discipline, organization, innovation, and infrastructure made the Roman army a formidable force. The success of the Roman military was a crucial factor in the expansion and maintenance of the Republic, and it played a central role in shaping the course of Roman history. The period of the early Republic was also marked by significant cultural achievements. The assimilation of Greek culture had a profound impact on Roman art, literature, and philosophy. Roman writers such as Plautus and Terence adapted Greek plays to Roman tastes, creating a distinctive Roman theatrical tradition. The influence of Greek philosophy, particularly the works of Plato and Aristotle, shaped Roman intellectual life and contributed to the development of Roman legal and political thought. The early Republic saw the emergence of a distinctive Roman architectural style, characterized by the use of arches, vaults, and concrete. The construction of monumental buildings such as the Temple of Jupiter, Optimus Maximus, and the Basilica Porcia demonstrated the engineering prowess and aesthetic sensibilities of the Romans. These structures not only served practical purposes, but also symbolized the power and grandeur of the Republic. The development of Roman law during this period laid the foundations for the legal systems of many modern states. The principles of Roman law, such as the concepts of legal precedent, the rights of individuals, and the importance of written laws, have had a lasting impact on Western legal traditions. The codification of laws, the development of legal institutions, and the emphasis on fairness and justice were all key aspects of the Roman legal system that continued to influence modern jurisprudence. Religion continued to play a central role in Roman life. The state religion, with its complex system of gods, rituals, and festivals, was closely intertwined with political and social life. Religious observances were an important aspect of public life, and the participation in religious rituals reinforced social cohesion and provided a sense of community. The establishment of the Pontifex Maximus The chief priest responsible for overseeing religious practices, and the Vestal virgins, who tended the sacred fire of Vesta, were crucial to maintaining the religious and moral integrity of the Republic. The expansion of Rome also necessitated new approaches to governance and administration. The development of the provincial system allowed Rome to manage its vast and diverse territories effectively. Provincial governors were responsible for maintaining law and order, collecting taxes, and defending the province against external threats. This system of decentralized governance enabled Rome to integrate a wide variety of cultures and societies into its political framework while maintaining overall control and stability. The early Republic was a time of dynamic change and development, marked by significant political, social, and cultural transformations. The foundations laid during this period would shape the future trajectory of Rome and contribute to the enduring legacy of the Roman Republic. As Rome continued to grow and expand, it faced new challenges and opportunities. The Republic's ability to adapt and innovate in response to these challenges was a key factor in its success. The governance structure of the Roman Republic was a complex and sophisticated system that balanced the interests of different social classes and provided mechanisms for public participation and accountability. Central to this system were the Senate and the popular assemblies, which played critical roles in the political and legislative processes of the Republic. The Senate was one of the oldest and most enduring institutions of the Roman Republic. It traced its origins back to the early days of the Roman kingdom, where it served as an advisory body to the kings. With the establishment of the Republic, the Senate became even more influential, acting as a council of elders composed of Rome's most experienced and respected statesmen. Senators were typically drawn from the patrician class, though over time, wealthy and influential plebeians also gained entry. Membership in the Senate was a lifelong position, which allowed for continuity and stability in governance. The Senate was responsible for providing counsel to the consuls and other magistrates, deliberating on important state matters, and shaping foreign and domestic policy. While it did not have formal legislative power, its decrees, known as senatus consulta, were highly influential and often guided the decisions of the popular assemblies. One of the Senate's key functions was to oversee foreign policy and military affairs. It had the authority to declare war, negotiate treaties, and manage diplomatic relations with other states. The Senate also controlled the allocation of military resources and the appointment of commanders. This role was critical in ensuring that Rome's military campaigns were strategically coordinated and effectively managed. The Senate's influence extended to economic and financial matters as well. It supervised the collection of taxes, managed state expenditures, and oversaw the administration of public finances. Senators, who were often landowners and wealthy elites, had a vested interest in maintaining economic stability and promoting policies that supported the growth and prosperity of the Republic. In addition to the Senate, the Roman Republic also had several popular assemblies that played a crucial role in the legislative and electoral processes. The most important of these assemblies were the Centuriate Assembly, Comitia Centuriata, the Tribal Assembly, Comitia Tributa, and the Plebeian Council, Concilium Plebis. The Centuriate Assembly was one of the oldest and most significant assemblies in the Republic. It was organized based on the Roman military structure, with citizens divided into centuries according to their wealth and military equipment. The assembly was responsible for electing the highest magistrates, including the consuls, praetors, and censors. It also had the authority to declare war and pass laws, particularly those related to military and foreign affairs. The organization of the centuriate assembly reflected the social and economic hierarchy of Rome. Wealthier citizens who could afford to equip themselves for battle were placed in higher centuries and had greater voting power. This structure ensured that the interests of the elite were well represented, but it also provided a mechanism for broader public participation, as all citizens had the right to vote, regardless of their economic status. The tribal assembly was another important legislative body, organized based on the 35 tribes into which Roman citizens were divided. Unlike the centuriate assembly, which was weighted towards the wealthy, the tribal assembly provided a more democratic forum where each tribe had an equal vote. This assembly was responsible for electing lower magistrates, such as quaestors and aediles, and for passing laws on a wide range of issues, including public works, legal procedures, and social policies. The tribal assembly played a crucial role in ensuring that the voices of ordinary citizens were heard in the legislative process. It provided a forum for debate and discussion on matters of public interest and allowed for greater public participation in governance. The assembly's decisions, known as plebiscites, had the force of law and were binding on all Roman citizens. The plebeian council was a unique institution that represented the interests of the plebeians, the common people of Rome. It was established as a result of the conflict of the orders, a prolonged struggle between the patricians and plebeians for political and social equality. The council was organized similarly to the tribal assembly, with plebeians divided into tribes, and it was presided over by the tribunes of the plebs. The plebeian council had the authority to pass laws, known as plebiscites, that applied specifically to the plebeians. Over time, these laws gained legal force for the entire Roman population, further integrating plebeian interests into the broader political system. The council also had the power to elect tribunes and plebeian aediles, who were responsible for protecting the rights of the plebeians and overseeing various public duties. The tribunes of the plebs were especially significant in the governance structure of the Republic. They had the power to veto actions by the consuls and other magistrates that were deemed unjust or harmful to the plebeians. This veto power, known as intercessio, was a critical check on the authority of the patrician-dominated Senate and magistracy. Tribunes could also convene the plebeian council and propose legislation, making them powerful advocates for the common people. The interplay between the Senate and the popular assemblies created a system of checks and balances that was central to the functioning of the Roman Republic. The Senate provided experience, continuity, and expertise, while the assemblies ensured public participation and accountability. This balance of power helped to prevent the concentration of authority in the hands of a few individuals and promoted a more inclusive and equitable form of governance. However, this system was not without its tensions and conflicts. The interests of the Senate and the assemblies often clashed, particularly on issues related to economic policy, social reform, and foreign affairs. The patrician-dominated Senate was generally conservative and resistant to change, while the popular assemblies, influenced by the plebeian tribunes, often pushed for more radical reforms to address the needs and grievances of the common people. One of the most significant sources of tension was the distribution of land and wealth. As Rome expanded and acquired new territories, the question of how to distribute the spoils of conquest became increasingly contentious. The Senate, representing the interests of the elite, often sought to maintain control over these resources, while the plebeian tribunes and the assemblies advocated for more equitable distribution to benefit the broader population. The issue of land reform was particularly contentious. Many plebeians, who were small farmers, faced economic pressures and debt, and they sought relief through the redistribution of public land, agri publicus. The Gracchi brothers, Tiberius and Gaius Gracchus, were notable tribunes who championed land reform in the 2nd century BCE. Their efforts to pass legislation that would redistribute land to the poor led to significant political upheaval and ultimately their deaths. The struggle between the Senate and the assemblies over land reform highlighted the broader social and economic tensions within the Republic. It also underscored the limitations of the Roman governance system in addressing the needs and demands of a growing and diverse population. Despite these challenges, the Senate and the assemblies continued to play vital roles in the governance of the Republic, shaping its policies and guiding its development. The governance structure of the Roman Republic also included other important magistrates and officials who played key roles in the administration of the state. These included the praetors, who were responsible for administering justice, the censors, who conducted the census and oversaw public morals, and the aediles, who managed public works and festivals. Each of these officials was elected by the popular assemblies and held office for a limited term, ensuring regular turnover and accountability. The Roman governance system was characterized by its complexity and flexibility. It allowed for a wide range of voices and interests to be represented and provided mechanisms for public participation and oversight. This system of checks and balances helped to prevent the concentration of power and promoted a more inclusive and equitable form of governance. The governance structure of the Roman Republic was a testament to the ingenuity and adaptability of the Romans. It allowed them to manage a growing and diverse state, balance the interests of different social classes, and respond to the challenges and opportunities of an expanding empire. The principles and institutions established during this period laid the foundations for the future development of Roman governance and have left a lasting legacy on Western political thought and practice. The period of the early Republic was also marked by significant cultural achievements. The assimilation of Greek culture had a profound impact on Roman art, literature, and philosophy. Roman writers such as Plautus and Terence adapted Greek plays to Roman tastes, creating a distinctive Roman theatrical tradition. The influence of Greek philosophy, particularly the works of Plato and Aristotle, shaped Roman intellectual life and contributed to the development of Roman legal and political thought. Religion continued to play a central role in Roman life. The state religion, with its complex system of gods, rituals, and festivals, was closely intertwined with political and social life. religious observances were an important aspect of public life, and participation in religious rituals reinforced social cohesion and provided a sense of community. The establishment of the Pontifex Maximus, the chief priest responsible for overseeing religious practices, and the Vestal Virgins who tended the sacred fire of Vesta, were crucial to maintaining the religious and moral integrity of the Republic. The expansion of Rome also necessitated new approaches to governance and administration. The development of the provincial system allowed Rome to manage its vast and diverse territories effectively. Provincial governors were responsible for maintaining law and order, collecting taxes, and defending the province against external threats. This system of decentralized governance enabled Rome to integrate a wide variety of cultures and societies into its political framework while maintaining overall control and stability. The early Republic was a time of dynamic change and development, marked by significant political, social, and cultural transformations. The foundations laid during this period would shape the future trajectory of Rome and contribute to the enduring legacy of the Roman Republic. As Rome continued to grow and expand, it faced new challenges and opportunities. The Republic's ability to adapt and innovate in response to these challenges was a key factor in its success. The interplay between the Senate and the popular assemblies was central to the functioning of the Roman Republic. The Senate provided experience, continuity, and expertise, while the assemblies ensured public participation and accountability. This balance of power helped to prevent the concentration of authority in the hands of a few individuals and promoted a more inclusive and equitable form of governance. The Senate was the heart of the Roman political system, comprising Rome's elite and experienced statesmen. Senators were typically former magistrates who had served in various public offices, bringing a wealth of knowledge and expertise to their roles. The Senate was responsible for advising the consuls, debating important state matters, and shaping foreign and domestic policy. While it did not have formal legislative power, its decrees were highly influential and often guided the decisions of the popular assemblies. The Centuriate Assembly was one of the oldest and most significant assemblies in the Republic, organized based on the Roman military structure. Citizens were divided into centuries according to their wealth and military equipment, with wealthier citizens having greater voting power. The assembly was responsible for electing the highest magistrates, including the consuls, praetors, and censors. It also had the authority to declare war and pass laws related to military and foreign affairs. The organization of the Centuriate Assembly reflected the social and economic hierarchy of Rome, ensuring that the interests of the elite were well represented. However, it also provided a mechanism for broader public participation, as all citizens had the right to vote, regardless of their economic status. This structure balanced the need for experienced leadership with the principles of republican governance and public involvement. The plebeian council represented the interests of the plebeians and was established as a result of the conflict of the orders. It was organized similarly to the tribal assembly and was presided over by the tribunes of the plebs. The council had the authority to pass laws that applied specifically to the plebeians, and over time these laws gained legal force for the entire Roman population. The council also had the power to elect tribunes and plebeian aediles, who were responsible for protecting the rights of the plebeians and overseeing various public duties. The tribunes of the plebs were especially significant in the governance structure of the Republic. They had the power to veto actions by the consuls and other magistrates that were deemed unjust or harmful to the plebeians. This veto power was a critical check on the authority of the patrician-dominated Senate and magistracy. Tribunes could also convene the plebeian council and propose legislation, making them powerful advocates for the common people. The interplay between the Senate and the popular assemblies created a system of checks and balances that was central to the functioning of the Roman Republic. The Senate provided experience, continuity, and expertise, while the assemblies ensured public participation and accountability. This balance of power helped to prevent the concentration of authority in the hands of a few individuals and promoted a more inclusive and equitable form of governance. However, this system was not without its tensions and conflicts. The interests of the Senate and the assemblies often clashed, particularly on issues related to economic policy, social reform, and foreign affairs. The patrician-dominated Senate was generally conservative and resistant to change, while the popular assemblies, influenced by the plebeian tribunes, often pushed for more radical reforms to address the needs and grievances of the common people. One of the most significant sources of tension was the distribution of land and wealth. As Rome expanded and acquired new territories, the question of how to distribute the spoils of conquest became increasingly contentious. The Senate, representing the interests of the elite, often sought to maintain control over these resources, while the plebeian tribunes and the assemblies advocated for more equitable distribution to benefit the broader population. The issue of land reform was particularly contentious. Many plebeians, who were small farmers, faced economic pressures and debt, and they sought relief through the redistribution of public land, Iger publicus. The Gracchi brothers, Tiberius and Gaius Gracchus, were notable tribunes who championed land reform in the 2nd century BCE. Their efforts to pass legislation that would redistribute land to the poor led to significant political upheaval and ultimately their deaths. The struggle between the Senate and the assemblies over land reform highlighted the broader social and economic tensions within the Republic. It also underscored the limitations of the Roman governance system in addressing the needs and demands of a growing and diverse population. Despite these challenges, the Senate and the assemblies continued to play vital roles in the governance of the Republic, shaping its policies and guiding its development. The governance structure of the Roman Republic also included other important magistrates and officials who played key roles in the administration of the state. These included the praetors, who were responsible for administering justice, the censors, who conducted the census and oversaw public morals, and the aediles, who managed public works and festivals. Each of these officials was elected by the popular assemblies and held office for a limited term, ensuring regular turnover and accountability. The Roman governance system was characterized by its complexity and flexibility. It allowed for a wide range of voices and interests to be represented and provided mechanisms for public participation and oversight. This system of checks and balances helped to prevent the concentration of power and promoted a more inclusive and equitable form of governance. The governance structure of the Roman Republic was a testament to the ingenuity and adaptability of the Romans. It allowed them to manage a growing and diverse state, balance the interests of different social classes, and respond to the challenges and opportunities of an expanding empire. The principles and institutions established during this period laid the foundations for the future development of Roman governance and have left a lasting legacy on Western political thought and practice. The Samnite Wars were a series of protracted conflicts between the Roman Republic and the Samnites, a fierce and resilient Italic tribe inhabiting the central and southern Apennines. These wars played a crucial role in shaping Roman military tactics and expanding Roman control over the Italian peninsula. The Samnite Wars are typically divided into three main phases. The First Samnite War, 343-341 BCE, the Second Samnite War, 326-304 BCE, and the Third Samnite War, 298-290 BCE. The First Samnite War began against a backdrop of Roman expansion and increasing competition for control over Italy. The immediate cause of the conflict was the city of Capua, which sought Roman protection against the Samnites. Capua, a wealthy and strategically important city in Campania, found itself under pressure from the Samnite tribes. In response to Capua's plea for help, Rome intervened, seeing an opportunity to extend its influence in the region. The Roman Senate decided to act, marking the beginning of the First Samnite War. Roman military campaigns during this war were initially successful. The Roman legions managed to secure several key victories against the Samnites, demonstrating their growing prowess and strategic capabilities. However, the war was relatively short-lived, ending in 341 BCE, with a peace treaty that allowed both Rome and the Samnites to retain their territorial gains. The terms of the peace were seen as favorable to Rome, as they solidified Roman influence in Campania and set the stage for future conflicts. The Second Samnite War was far more extensive and brutal than the first. It erupted in 326 BCE due to renewed tensions over territorial control in Campania and the surrounding regions. This war tested Rome's military and strategic limits. Early in the conflict, the Samnites achieved a significant victory at the Battle of the Caudine Forks in 321 BCE, where a Roman army was trapped in a mountain pass and forced to surrender. The Romans were compelled to pass under the yoke, a symbolic act of humiliation that deeply affected Roman pride and morale. In response to this defeat, Rome undertook a series of military reforms. The construction of the Via Appia, a major road linking Rome to Capua, facilitated the rapid movement of troops and supplies, enhancing Rome's logistical capabilities. Additionally, the Roman legions adopted more flexible tactics, learning to adapt their traditional rigid formations to the rugged and variable terrain of Samnium. These changes were crucial in turning the tide of the war. The renewed Roman efforts led to several key victories. By 305 BCE, Roman forces had managed to capture important Samnite strongholds, and the Samnites were compelled to negotiate peace. The peace treaty of 304 BCE marked the end of the Second Samnite War, with Rome emerging as the dominant power in central Italy. This war had significant implications for Roman military strategy and infrastructure, setting a precedent for future campaigns. The Third Samnite War, which began in 298 BCE, was part of a broader coalition of Italic tribes, including the Etruscans, Umbrians, and Gauls, who sought to resist Roman domination. This coalition posed a formidable challenge to Rome, as it brought together multiple tribes with a common interest in curbing Roman expansion. The initial stages of the war saw intense and widespread fighting, with both sides experiencing victories and losses. A critical turning point in the Third Samnite War was the Battle of Sentinum in 295 BCE. This battle was one of the largest and most decisive engagements of the Samnite Wars. Roman forces, led by consuls Publius Decius Mus and Quintus Fabius Maximus Rullianus, faced a formidable coalition army. The battle was fiercely contested, with both sides demonstrating remarkable bravery and tactical skill. Publius Decius Mus, in a dramatic and self-sacrificial act known as devotio, dedicated himself and his life to the gods of the underworld to secure victory for Rome. His act of devotion inspired the Roman troops and played a crucial role in their eventual triumph. The Roman victory at Sentinum effectively shattered the coalition forces and marked a decisive step toward Roman hegemony in Italy. The aftermath of the Battle of Sentinum saw continued Roman advances. By 290 BCE, the Samnites were thoroughly defeated, and their territory was incorporated into the Roman Republic. The end of the Third Samnite War marked the complete subjugation of the Samnite tribes and the consolidation of Roman control over central and southern Italy. The Samnite Wars were pivotal in Rome's expansionist policy and had profound social, political, and military implications. The conflicts demonstrated Rome's ability to adapt and innovate in response to military challenges. The wars also led to significant changes in Roman military organization, including the development of more flexible tactics and the construction of critical infrastructure such as roads. These changes enhanced Rome's capacity to project power and maintain control over its expanding territories. Politically, the wars contributed to the centralization of Roman authority and the integration of diverse Italic tribes into the Roman state. The incorporation of the Samnite territory into the Roman Republic laid the groundwork for further expansion and consolidation of Roman power across the Italian peninsula. The experience gained and the lessons learned during the Samnite Wars would prove invaluable in Rome's subsequent conflicts and conquests. In addition to their military and political impact, the Samnite Wars also had significant social repercussions. The prolonged conflicts and the need for a large standing army led to changes in Roman society, including the increasing importance of the military in Roman political life. The wars also facilitated the spread of Roman culture and influence throughout Italy, as conquered territories were gradually integrated into the Roman state and Roman ways of life. The impact of the Samnite Wars extended beyond immediate military and territorial gains. They served as a crucible for Roman military innovation. The Roman legions emerged from these conflicts as a more adaptable and resilient force, capable of operating effectively in diverse terrains and against various foes. The emphasis on building infrastructure, such as roads and fortifications, not only facilitated military logistics, but also stimulated economic development and integration across the Italian peninsula. The legacy of the Samnite Wars can also be seen in the Roman approach to governance and administration. The incorporation of conquered peoples into the Roman state through a combination of military subjugation and political integration became a hallmark of Roman expansion. The Roman Republic developed a system of alliances and dependencies that allowed it to maintain control over a vast and culturally diverse territory without the need for constant military intervention. The conclusion of the Samnite Wars marked a significant turning point in Roman history. With the subjugation of the Samnites, Rome emerged as the unchallenged power in central Italy, setting the stage for further expansion. The lessons learned and the strategies developed during these wars would be applied in subsequent conflicts, including the wars against Pyrrhus of Epirus and the Punic Wars against Carthage. In summary, the Samnite Wars were a series of critical conflicts that played a central role in the expansion of the Roman Republic. Through these wars, Rome demonstrated its military resilience, strategic adaptability, and capacity for innovation. The successful conclusion of the Samnite Wars established Rome as the dominant power in Italy and set the stage for its future conquests and the eventual rise of the Roman Empire. These wars were not only a testament to Roman military prowess, but also a key factor in the political and social evolution of the Roman state. The Pyrrhic War, 280–275 BCE, was a significant conflict between Rome and Pyrrhus of Epirus, a Hellenistic king whose military campaigns challenged Rome's growing influence in southern Italy. This war is notable for introducing Rome to the warfare techniques of the Hellenistic world and highlighting the Republic's determination to resist foreign invaders. The war began when the Greek city of Tarentum in southern Italy sought assistance against Roman encroachment. Tarentum, a powerful city-state with a strong navy, had a history of conflict with Rome and was concerned about Rome's increasing influence in the region. In 282 BCE, a Roman fleet entered the Gulf of Tarentum, violating a treaty that forbade Roman ships from entering Tarentum's waters. This incident led to open hostilities, and Tarentum called upon Pyrrhus for aid. Pyrrhus, a cousin of Alexander the Great and an ambitious ruler with dreams of emulating Alexander's conquests, saw an opportunity to expand his influence in the West. He agreed to help Tarentum and arrived in Italy in 280 BCE with a well-trained army including 20 war elephants, an unfamiliar sight to the Romans. His forces were composed of seasoned Epirotus soldiers, Greek mercenaries, and a contingent of war elephants, which were considered a formidable element in Hellenistic warfare. The first major engagement of the war was the Battle of Heraclea in 280 BCE. Pyrrhus, employing his elephants effectively, secured a hard-fought victory against the Roman legions led by consul Publius Valerius Laevinus. The elephants caused panic among the Roman cavalry and infantry, who had never faced such creatures before. Despite their defeat, the Romans inflicted heavy casualties on Pyrrhus's forces, demonstrating their resilience and tactical discipline. Pyrrhus famously remarked that another such victory would utterly destroy him, coining the term Pyrrhic victory to describe a win achieved at such a devastating cost that it is tantamount to defeat. Undeterred by the heavy losses, Pyrrhus continued his campaign in Italy, aiming to consolidate his position and gather support from other Greek cities and Italic tribes. In 279 BCE, he faced the Romans again at the Battle of Asculum. This time, the Romans were better prepared for the elephants, using wagons equipped with spikes and other devices to counter them. The battle was intense and bloody, lasting 2 days. Pyrrhus eventually won, but once again at a great cost, losing many of his best troops. Despite these victories, Pyrrhus found it difficult to secure lasting support from other Greek cities and Italic tribes. His ambitions were further strained by his decision to campaign in Sicily against the Carthaginians, hoping to establish a foothold there. The Greek cities in Sicily welcomed him as a liberator from Carthaginian domination, and Pyrrhus managed to drive the Carthaginians from much of the island. However, his harsh rule and demands for resources alienated his Sicilian allies, leading to a loss of support. While Pyrrhus was in Sicily, the Romans regrouped and reorganized. They built new fleets and fortified their positions in southern Italy. Pyrrhus's Sicilian campaign was ultimately unsuccessful, and he returned to Italy in 276 BCE to find a more resilient Roman force awaiting him. His inability to secure a decisive and sustained victory in Sicily weakened his position significantly. The decisive battle of the Punic War took place at Beneventum in 275 BCE. Here, Roman forces, led by consul Manius Curius Dentatus, managed to counter Pyrrhus's elephants and achieve a significant victory. The Romans had developed effective tactics to neutralize the elephants, using javelins and coordinated infantry maneuvers. Pyrrhus, recognizing the futility of continuing the conflict, withdrew to Epirus, leaving his Italian allies to fend for themselves. The Pyrrhic War demonstrated Rome's ability to adapt and innovate in the face of new military challenges. The Romans learned valuable lessons in Hellenistic warfare, which they would later apply in their own military campaigns. The war also solidified Rome's control over southern Italy and discouraged future interventions by Hellenistic rulers in the region. The war had several lasting impacts on Rome and its military. Firstly, the exposure to Hellenistic warfare techniques, including the use of elephants and the phalanx formation, provided the Romans with new tactical knowledge. They adapted and incorporated some of these elements into their own military doctrine, enhancing their effectiveness in future battles. Secondly, the Pyrrhic War underscored the importance of logistics and adaptability. The Romans' ability to rebuild their forces, develop countermeasures against the elephants, and sustain prolonged military campaigns demonstrated their growing organizational and logistical capabilities. This adaptability would become a hallmark of Roman military strategy in the centuries to come. The war also had significant political and diplomatic ramifications. Pyrrhus' failure to secure a decisive victory and his eventual withdrawal from Italy diminished his reputation as a military commander and weakened his influence in the Greek world. For Rome, the successful defense against a renowned Hellenistic general bolstered its prestige and reinforced its position as a rising power in the Mediterranean. In the aftermath of the Pyrrhic War, Rome moved swiftly to consolidate its gains in southern Italy. The Greek cities and Italic tribes that had supported Pyrrhus were either subdued or incorporated into the Roman sphere of influence. Tarentum, the initial instigator of the conflict, was eventually forced to surrender and became a Roman ally. This consolidation of power laid the groundwork for Rome's future expansion into the broader Mediterranean world. The Punic War also had a lasting impact on Roman foreign policy. The experience of facing a foreign invader with a professional army and advanced military tactics influenced Roman strategic thinking. Rome became more aware of the potential threats posed by other Hellenistic kingdoms and began to develop a more proactive and expansionist foreign policy to secure its interests. Culturally, the war brought greater interaction between Rome and the Hellenistic world. The influx of Greek culture, art, and ideas that followed the war had a profound influence on Roman society. Greek tutors, philosophers, and artisans became highly sought after in Rome, leading to a significant Hellenization of Roman culture. This cultural exchange enriched Roman intellectual and artistic life and laid the foundations for the later blending of Greek and Roman traditions. In summary, the Punic War was a pivotal conflict that had far-reaching consequences for both Rome and Pyrrhus of Epirus. For Rome, the war was a critical test of its military capabilities and resilience. The lessons learned and the innovations developed during this conflict strengthened Rome's military and strategic position, paving the way for its future dominance in the Mediterranean. For Pyrrhus, the war represented both a demonstration of his military prowess and a stark reminder of the limits of his ambitions. His failure to achieve a lasting victory in Italy marked the decline of his influence and foreshadowed the challenges that other Hellenistic rulers would face in confronting the rising power of Rome. The Punic War is remembered not only for its military significance, but also for its impact on Roman culture and foreign policy. It was a defining moment in the early history of the Roman Republic, illustrating the challenges and opportunities that came with its expansion and the complex interplay of diplomacy, warfare, and cultural exchange in the ancient world. The Social War, 91 to 88 BCE, also known as the Italian War or the Marsic War, was a significant internal conflict within the Roman Republic, pitting Rome against its Italian allies, socii, who sought greater political rights and citizenship. The war had profound implications for Roman society and governance, leading to significant political and social reforms. The origins of the Social War lay in the long-standing grievances of Rome's Italian allies. Despite their contributions to Rome's military campaigns and their integration into the Roman economic system, these allies were denied Roman citizenship. This exclusion meant they lacked the political rights and privileges enjoyed by Roman citizens, such as voting and holding public office. Over time, this disparity led to growing resentment and demands for greater inclusion in the Roman political system. Tensions reached a boiling point in 91 BCE when Marcus Livius Drusus, a tribune of the plebs, proposed a series of reforms aimed at addressing the grievances of the Italian allies. His proposals included extending Roman citizenship to all free inhabitants of Italy, redistributing public land, and reforming the judicial system to reduce the power of the equestrian order. These reforms faced stiff opposition from the Roman Senate and other powerful interests, leading to Drusus's assassination. His death served as a catalyst for the outbreak of the Social War, as many Italian allies lost hope in achieving their rights through peaceful means. The war began in earnest when several Italian cities and tribes, including the Marsi, Samnites, and Lucanians, formed a coalition and declared their independence from Rome. They established their own confederation with its capital at Corfinium, which they renamed Italica. The confederation adopted Roman-style political institutions, including a senate and consuls, and even minted its own coinage. The rebels aimed to create an independent Italian state that would secure their rights and freedoms. The social war was marked by intense and brutal fighting across central and southern Italy. Both sides mobilized large armies, with the Roman legions facing battle-hardened Italian forces who had previously fought alongside them in numerous campaigns. The war saw a series of battles and sieges, with fortune swinging back and forth between the two sides. One of the initial major battles of the war was the Battle of the Tolenus River in 90 BCE, where the Roman forces, led by the consul Publius Rutilius Lupus, were defeated by the Marsi under the command of Quintus Poppaedius Silo. This defeat was a significant blow to Roman morale and demonstrated the determination and capability of the Italian allies. In response to early setbacks, Rome appointed experienced commanders to lead its forces, including Lucius Cornelius Sulla and Gaius Marius, both of whom had distinguished military careers. Sulla, in particular, played a crucial role in turning the tide of the war. He achieved a decisive victory at the Battle of Nola in 89 BCE, which marked the beginning of a series of Roman successes. Sulla's effective leadership and tactical acumen helped to gradually weaken the resolve and cohesion of the Italian Confederation. Despite the initial successes of the Italian allies, internal divisions and the superior resources of Rome began to take their toll. The Roman Senate, recognizing the seriousness of the threat, enacted the Lex Julia in 90 BCE, which offered Roman citizenship to all Italian allies who remained loyal to Rome or laid down their arms. This concession significantly undermined the rebel cause, as many communities saw the opportunity to achieve their goals without further bloodshed. The Lex Julia was followed by additional laws, such as the Lex Plautia Papiria in 89 BCE, which extended citizenship to all free inhabitants of Italy who applied within a specified period. These measures effectively addressed the primary grievances of the Italian allies and eroded support for the rebellion. Many of the insurgents accepted the offer of citizenship and returned to their allegiance to Rome. The social war formally ended in 88 BCE when the remaining rebel strongholds surrendered and their leaders were either captured or killed. The resolution of the war saw the full integration of the Italian allies into the Roman state, fundamentally transforming the political landscape of the Republic. The extension of Roman citizenship to all free inhabitants of Italy helped to unify the peninsula under a single political and legal system. The aftermath of the social war had significant and lasting impacts on the Roman Republic. The incorporation of the Italian allies into the Roman citizen body altered the demographic and political dynamics of Rome. The newly enfranchised citizens significantly increased the size of the electorate, leading to changes in the composition and behavior of the Roman assemblies. Moreover, the social war set important precedents for future reforms and conflicts. The integration of the Italian allies served as a model for the extension of Roman citizenship to other conquered peoples in the centuries to come. It also highlighted the need for Rome to address the demands and aspirations of its diverse population, laying the groundwork for future social and political changes. The war also had significant military implications. The Italian allies had proven themselves as formidable opponents, and their integration into the Roman state brought valuable military experience and manpower to the Roman legions. The experience of fighting against well-trained and disciplined forces like the Marsi and Samnites also spurred further developments in Roman military tactics and organization. One of the notable outcomes of the social war was the rise of Lucius Cornelius Sulla as a prominent military and political figure. His successes during the war boosted his reputation and paved the way for his subsequent power struggles and dictatorship. Sulla's ascent to power marked a turning point in Roman history, leading to a series of civil wars and the eventual decline of the Roman Republic. In addition to its political and military consequences, the social war had profound social and cultural impacts. The integration of the Italian allies contributed to the spread of Roman culture and institutions throughout the peninsula. The extension of citizenship facilitated greater cultural exchange and interaction, leading to the Romanization of the Italian population. This process of cultural assimilation helped to create a more cohesive and unified Italian identity within the broader Roman state. The social war also exposed deep-seated social and economic inequalities within the Roman Republic. The demands of the Italian allies for greater political rights were driven by broader issues of land distribution, economic hardship, and social mobility. The war highlighted the need for comprehensive reforms to address these underlying issues, although such reforms would remain contentious and incomplete in the years that followed. In summary, the social war was a pivotal conflict that reshaped the Roman Republic and had far-reaching consequences for its political, military, and social structures. The war was driven by the demands of the Italian allies for greater political rights and citizenship, and its resolution led to the full integration of the Italian peninsula into the Roman state. The extension of Roman citizenship helped to unify Italy under a single political and legal system, while also setting important precedents for future reforms and conflicts. The social war was a defining moment in Roman history, illustrating the challenges and opportunities that came with the expansion and integration of diverse populations within the Republic. The conquest of Greece by Rome was a complex and multifaceted process that spanned over a century, involving a series of wars, political maneuvers, and cultural exchanges. This period marked a significant transformation in the Mediterranean world, as the Hellenistic kingdoms fell under Roman dominion, leading to the eventual integration of Greece into the Roman Empire. The conquest of Greece is typically divided into several key phases, including the Macedonian Wars, the Roman intervention in Greek affairs, and the final subjugation of Greece. The First Macedonian War, 214-205 BCE, began during the Second Punic War when Rome was preoccupied with Hannibal's invasion of Italy. Philip V of Macedon saw an opportunity to expand his influence and formed an alliance with Hannibal. This move alarmed Rome, which decided to counter Philip's ambitions by forming alliances with Greek city-states such as the Aetolian League. The war itself was inconclusive, with neither side achieving a decisive victory, and it ended with the Peace of Phenice, which essentially restored the status quo. The Second Macedonian War, 200–197 BCE, was more decisive and set the stage for Roman dominance in Greece. After the defeat of Carthage in the Second Punic War, Rome turned its attention to Macedon. The immediate cause of the war was Philip V's aggression against the Greek city-states and his alliance with Antiochus III of the Seleucid Empire. Rome declared war on Macedon, positioning itself as the protector of Greek freedom. The decisive Battle of Cynosophylae in 197 BCE, where the Roman legions under Titus Quinctius Flamininus defeated Philip's phalanx, marked a turning point. This victory demonstrated the superiority of the Roman military system over the traditional Macedonian phalanx. The subsequent Treaty of Tempea forced Philip to relinquish his claims in Greece and marked the beginning of Roman influence in the region. The Roman proclamation of Greek freedom at the Isthmian Games in 196 BCE was a masterstroke of diplomacy. Flamininus declared that all Greek states previously under Macedonian control were now free and autonomous. This proclamation was designed to win the hearts and minds of the Greek people and to establish Rome as a liberating force rather than an occupying power. However, this freedom was nominal, as Rome maintained significant influence over Greek affairs through alliances and political pressure. The Third Macedonian War, 171–168 BCE, was sparked by the ambitions of Philip's successor, Perseus of Macedon, who sought to restore Macedonian power. Rome, wary of any resurgence of Macedonian strength, launched a preemptive war. The conflict culminated in the Battle of Pydna in 168 BCE, where the Roman legions, commanded by Lucius Aemilius Paulus, delivered a crushing defeat to Perseus. This battle effectively ended the Macedonian kingdom as an independent power, and Rome divided the territory into 4 republics to prevent any future resurgence. Following the defeat of Macedon, Rome faced another challenge from the Seleucid Empire in the Roman-Seleucid War, 192–188 BCE. Antiochus III, emboldened by his victories in the east, sought to expand his influence in Greece. The Romans, allied with the Aetolian League and other Greek states, engaged Antiochus in a series of battles. The decisive Battle of Magnesia in 190 BCE saw the Roman forces, led by Lucius Cornelius Scipio Asiaticus, decisively defeat Antiochus. The subsequent Treaty of Apamea in 188 BCE forced the Seleucids to cede significant territories and marked the decline of their influence in the region. Despite these victories, Rome's control over Greece was not absolute. The region remained politically fragmented, and various Greek states continued to vie for power and autonomy. The Achaean League, a prominent confederation of Greek city-states, became a focal point of resistance against Roman influence. The Fourth Macedonian War, 150–148 BCE, and the Achaean War, 146 BCE, were the final conflicts that solidified Roman control over Greece. The Achaean League's defiance led to the Battle of Corinth in 146 BCE, where the Romans, under Lucius Mummius, defeated the Achaean forces and sacked the city of Corinth. This brutal display of power served as a warning to other Greek states and marked the end of significant resistance to Roman rule. With the destruction of Corinth, Greece was fully incorporated into the Roman Republic as the province of Achaia. Roman governance brought significant changes to the political and social landscape of Greece. The Romans implemented their administrative systems, established colonies, and integrated the Greek elites into the Roman political framework. The conquest also facilitated the spread of Roman culture and law throughout Greece, although Greek culture, in turn, had a profound influence on Rome. The Roman conquest of Greece had profound cultural implications. The Romans were greatly influenced by Greek art, philosophy, literature, and science. Greek tutors, artists, and philosophers were highly sought after in Rome's land, and many wealthy Romans adopted Greek customs and education. The process of cultural exchange, known as Hellenization, enriched Roman society and left a lasting legacy on Western civilization. The incorporation of Greek art and architecture into Roman public and private buildings is a testament to the deep cultural connections forged during this period. Economically, the conquest of Greece opened new avenues for Roman exploitation and trade. The wealth of Greece, accumulated through centuries of commerce and cultural development, flowed into Rome, contributing to its prosperity. The integration of Greek territories into the Roman economy facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies, further strengthening the economic foundations of the Roman Republic. The conquest also had significant military implications for Rome. The wars in Greece provided valuable experience for Roman generals and soldiers, who learned to adapt their tactics to different terrains and combat styles. The encounters with Hellenistic armies influenced Roman military reforms, including the adoption of more flexible legionary formations that could counter the rigid phalanxes of their adversaries. The integration of Greek mercenaries and military techniques into the Roman army enhanced its effectiveness and versatility. The political integration of Greece into the Roman Republic was a complex and gradual process. Rome adopted a pragmatic approach, allowing a degree of local autonomy while maintaining overall control through provincial governors and military presence. The establishment of Roman colonies in strategic locations helped to secure Roman interests and facilitate the administration of the newly conquered territories. These colonies served as centers of Roman culture and influence, further consolidating Rome's hold on Greece. The social impact of the conquest was also significant. The Greek elites, who had previously wielded considerable power and influence, were integrated into the Roman aristocracy. This integration created a new class of Romanized Greeks who played a crucial role in the governance and cultural life of the province. The broader population experienced both the benefits and challenges of Roman rule, including improved infrastructure and economic opportunities, as well as the imposition of Roman legal and administrative systems. The Roman conquest of Greece was not merely a series of military victories. It was a profound transformation that reshaped the Mediterranean world. The integration of Greece into the Roman Republic marked the end of the Hellenistic era and the beginning of a new chapter in ancient history. The legacy of this conquest is evident in the enduring influence of Greek culture on Roman civilization and the subsequent development of Western culture. In conclusion, the conquest of Greece by Rome was a pivotal event that had far-reaching consequences for both civilizations. Through a series of wars, political maneuvers, and cultural exchanges, Rome established its dominance over Greece, transforming it into a Roman province. The process of conquest and integration was marked by significant military, political, economic, and cultural changes that left a lasting legacy on the ancient world. The Roman conquest of Greece not only expanded the territorial reach of the Roman Republic, but also facilitated a profound cultural synthesis that enriched both Greek and Roman societies, shaping the course of Western civilization for centuries to come. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. For more captivating stories and insights, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts and questions. Leave them in the comments below. Thanks again for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.